don't want any opium. I don't know why we're calling it anything else. It's opium. Opium is originally a red brick powder. They make heroin out of opium. Like, you guys need to stop snorting pills. Like, close your eyes, breathe in your mouth and out your nose, and like, I bet you won't do that again. So I'm gonna take some. This has 7.5 milligrams of opium in it, and then there's 325 milligrams of Tylenol, which is a higher dose of opium than hydrocodone or Tylenol 3. This is one of the higher doses of opium pills you can get. I don't know if it's the highest, but he only gave me 12. Like, I've been trying not to take the shit. I really don't want any opium. I do not want to go into my butthole. However, I had surgery on my foot, and gotta be done, I guess. It fucking hurts. I walked around a lot yesterday after surgery. I shouldn't have been doing that. Anyway, so here we go. We'll stay online. I gotta go upstairs and get some extension cords so I can run my phone so I can make the video. But you're gonna watch me hobble around after I take this pill, and I'm gonna stick my head in my ass. Oh, look at that. Look how nice they are. They put a little line on there to break it in half, in case you want to give your dog one. I don't know. You know, dogs can pant the wind at 80 miles an hour, sticking their head out your car window. I can't do that shit. I know a lot about animals. I can make fun of animals all day long. However, I have other plans in the making for what I will be doing to make Marshall Mathers the most hated man on earth, because he's a fucking retard. So anyways, like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna take the pill in my right hand, because like, and I'll drink with my left hand, because when I drink with my left hand, I ain't having sex. I don't care who the fuck you are. Here we go. Rotate device. Shut the fuck up, man. Fucking crap. Rotate device. Rotate device. Fuck, I gotta put my boot back on. Whatever. You stare at the fucking light. Okay, here we go. Oh, fuck, that hurt. Well, it's blasphemy to kill a woman. I would never kill a woman. Maybe if a ninja was coming after me or something. Like, that woman's got a sword and, like, for Chinese throwing stars, so I'm gonna have to try to fight back. But we all know if a ninja attacked me, I wouldn't survive. There'd be no way in hell. would survive a ninja attack. I want to sleep upstairs in my bed, but I don't know, maybe I should sleep on the couch. I just can't carry the fan upstairs. I only have one fan. It's downstairs, but there's more flies downstairs. They're all fucking mentally ill and buzzing around, fucking with me and shit. Ow. But they don't come upstairs. They stay downstairs because I keep crumbs around for them to eat. Like, my house ain't messy. I just keep my bugs happy by making sure they have food to eat. And if I drop marijuana on the carpet, like, the fucking spiders can have that shit, because they get really mad at me if I fucking pick that shit back up. One time I fucking dropped some marijuana on my mom's floor after I got divorced, and come to find out later it was a cockroach I picked up because I couldn't see where the marijuana was, and I fucking smoked the cockroach. They're fucking... I don't even think I ever found the marijuana on the floor. Like, that was some fucked up shit. The fucking... And I understand that I haven't given you the name of my dream eyeball, which is right there. But I ain't fucking talking about that shit anymore. You can watch my last video I made about it. Or go to my Instagram or my face cloth or my Snapchat or my website. My website's got it on there. Like, go to Digital Environmental Communication. I've been fighting Marshall Mathers' fucking dumb fucking blonde-headed, blue-eyed, pointy fucking nose for decades over the word never mind. And if I ever see you, sir, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking nose. I don't care if you put me in jail. Fucking turn me in, you fucking narc. I don't care if you fucking are healthier than me. I'm gonna fucking punch you. I'm gonna lay you out. I'm gonna try to lay you out. That's what I'm gonna fucking do. Fucking talk to me like that again. Fucking... And your dumb fucking song about, oh, don't disrespect the caterpillar. That was a weak fucking apology. You stupid fucking idiot. I don't know why it hurts to keep my fucking foot up. Supposed to keep it raised, and I've been sitting down more today. I'm fucking out. God. Oh shit, I took the fucking opium. I can't be fucking taking my Seroquel. Seroquel actually is a drug that puts sulfur in your spinal cord, in your brain stem, so your brain lowers the function of anxiety. Which, my anxiety is from my pain. Physical and other types of pain. Well, you shouldn't have been fucking disrespecting me, and I still don't know why Marshall Mathers was talking about a caterpillar, because I'm gonna fuck you up for fucking talking to me like that too. Like, you got the money, you got the fucking ways and means of fucking setting this planet straight, and you still can't even fucking tell the truth about your fucking dream eyeball. So I had to fucking text Tex9 and fucking make sure he fucking takes care of your dumb fucking ass. You need to stop selling records. And I hope while you're making your Relapse 2 album, you fucking die of an overdose this time, because last time apparently you got lucky and didn't die. Like, shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear your poor little sob story about all your shit. Can't even talk about the fucking truth. I don't know why Dr. Dre's punk ass ever fucking gave you a record deal. Like, Dr. Dre, I respect you and your music, but you made a dumb fucking mistake of signing that fucking idiot. All his music is junk. Literally. It did no help to anybody. It psychologically didn't help anyone see clearer. And he's a fucking idiot. And fucking, he should have died of an overdose fucking decades ago. Talking about drugs like that. Like, shut the fuck up, man. So, at this point, it's really hot in here because I don't have air. Well, I have an air conditioner. I don't think it fucking works. I should turn it on though. But see, now my boot's off, so I'm gonna hop around my house because I ain't putting that fucking boot back on. Ah, that fucking hurts. Ow. You know, if gravity exists, why doesn't all the blood in my body just stay at my feet? It must be because of the electrical currents in my spinal cord. I'm sorry, that's fucking true. Like, take biology class. Well, you took biology class in high school. How often do I take this fucking pill? 4 to 6 hours. So, who's watching? Like, see my dream eyeball picture? Like, yeah. It has a name. It has 3 letters. But I'm not talking about that again because I have other things I'm trying to do. But you can go to my face cloth and look at the picture and it'll describe what the name of that picture right there is. Dylander Reed Lefty. Or my Instagram or my... If you just go to my website, all of the information's on there. DigitalEnvironmentalCommunication.com explains that picture right there. Like that. It explains it for you. I don't want to talk about that shit. I never talked about that shit. Like, it's not fully explained, but I'm tired of calling you stupid. So like, it should be explained plenty for you to understand. And remember to tell Marshall Mathers to shut the fuck up if you see him. Huh? Jeez. Write the letters O, I, and then put a P in front of the O. That's the name of my dream eyeball. Like, there's other words that have those letters in it. Watch out for them. But I told you on my website. No, put the P in front of the O. That's the name of my dream eyeball. Marshall Mathers was a fucking idiot. No. Put the... No, you... No. Whatever. No, put... Whatever. You'll get it eventually. I can't believe Marshall Mathers talked about his shit for all those decades. Like, I had to fight that motherfucker. Like, psychologically. And it fucking pisses me off. Like, he was not needed. I did not need him to figure that out at all. Like, Marshall Mathers will soon be the most hated man on planet Earth when I'm done with my trademark that will be being sold in stores soon. And people won't listen to his shit. Oh, don't worry about it. Fucking Eminem, Slim Shady, that fucking stupid rapper that talks about whatever the fuck he talks. He's afraid to say the word never mind, and he thinks it's a real thing, so he runs around fucking bragging about it, and everybody fucking believes that. Oh, good, you don't need to know him. Like, he's an idiot. Like, he talks about drugs, like, wrong. Like, no one cares if you say the word never mind. Like, we know our dream. He's like 40-something. You don't need to listen to him. He's an idiot. I'm 35. I got kids, like 14 and 13. And I'm divorced. And I need a bathroom organizer in my house, but I can't find a girlfriend. So, I had foot surgery yesterday. And I really didn't want to take the opium pills. I did not. I have the marijuana pill that I take. They're with their mother being held hostage by some Mexican guy that doesn't know how to communicate. I don't know. Because of Marshall Mathers. Like, apparently people are afraid to say the word never mind. I don't know why. Like, whatever. I wouldn't say, like, actually that word of my dream eyeball, it's actually a food in Hawaii. Well, I was running around talking about drugs for a while because Marshall Mathers started talking about Nevermind, and we didn't need his shit. I would have got done earlier, but my friend, when Marshall Mathers came out, a girlfriend of mine was like, "You better hope you can meditate," because Marshall Mathers was just talking out of his ass, and it confused me. So, blame Marshall Mathers for the destruction of this planet psychologically. Him and his Slim Shady bullshit. Like, if he was going to talk about Slim Shady, he should have told you to make sure when you close your eyes and go to sleep, you suck in your nose and eat right away. So you buy a shadow mask to fall asleep. That's what he should have been saying, instead of whatever the fuck he's talking about blowjobs. It's a rapper. It's that guy, Marshall Mathers. That's what, it's one of his aliases or rap name or something. I don't know. If you go listen to his shit, you're going to get mad at yourself. He sings songs in, like, rhythmic poetry. Rap music is just rhythmic poetry. That's all it is. I was born left eye dominant. Like, I had a firecracker accident when I was 7, and it blew up near my eye, and I had an eye patch over my left eye, and it switched me over to the other side. And then I had a blind spot in my left eye because I had a rare eye disease that went misdiagnosed for my whole life. And I was stuck in the psychiatric field being called schizophrenic because nobody knew I needed eye surgery. It was called dissociated vertical deviance. Oh shit, I don't mess up often rolling these things, but sometimes I do. That's twice today. Oh, I'm rolling a cigarette. It's a menthol. Like, people don't like it when I call menthol cigarettes. No, they're menthol cigarettes. It's pipe tobacco. Pipe tobacco has less chemicals in it than filtered cigarettes. Like, I call them baby alligators, but people don't like that when I talk like that. I don't know. Like, if you're gonna do drugs, like, you need the information on, like, what the drug is. And one day my website, Digital Environmental Communication, will be true. But until the day the planet decides to, yes, nicotine actually, they need to just stop making it. The government needs to stop making tobacco. But nicotine, it makes your, like, I don't call them veins in my heart. They're more like vines. But they make your heart or your blood vessels shrink when you smoke nicotine. And it makes your heart beat faster, it raises your blood pressure, and it takes away your blood sugar levels. So if you eat right away and then smoke a cigarette or have nicotine, it'll actually lower your blood sugar level. But they don't tell us that in school. They didn't tell me that shit. Would have done that. Or maybe if they would have just called him a baby, I would have been like, no, that doesn't sound good. Maybe I would have. I don't know. But cigarettes keep me from hanging myself in my front yard. And I don't want to tell you what chemicals in cigarettes it's not in pipe tobacco, because if you do smoke, you're not going to be happy I told you. And you probably don't have the guts to run around rolling cigarettes all the time. Or you don't know how, I don't know. But like I said, the government just needs to stop making tobacco. I mean, we don't really need it to function. You got to go fast when you roll. You can't. I don't know. It's really hot out. Maybe it's not rolling today because it's really warm. I've been having problems since my surgery. They haven't been as tightly rolled. It might just be because I'm in pain. I mean, they broke my foot and put screws in it. I don't know. It's not showing me a comment. I wasn't watching, sorry. So the opium, I mean, I've had real opium, so it's better than this shit. I don't think it's kicked in yet. That's what this video is about, like hydrocodone. It's opium. Opium is hydrocodone. The pain pills that you take, they're made out of opium. Yeah, I don't think you were on here. Heroin's made out of opium too, and like, I was just talking, I don't know if you caught me when I was talking about the bugs in my house being mentally ill. But that's what this video is about, is oh, I had surgery. I had my feet are crooked. Like, my other one didn't get done, but my toes are crooked. And they broke my foot, put a screw in my foot to straighten my foot out. And in a month, when this one heals, I'm gonna do the other one. I was born with it. It's just people have hammer toes, what it's called, or bunions. They actually took my bunions off, and I still really don't know what a bunion is. They took my bunions off, and then they straightened my bones. I think the reason why people have a hammer toe is your middle toe, the bone is lower than the other ones, and then they crunch together. So what they did is they put a screw in that middle bone in my toe and straightened it, and put it up straight with the rest of my feet bone, or toe bones. And the reason why we shouldn't smoke baby alligators is because multiple orgasms are not fun. They're not. So I have rules about how to smoke baby alligators because of an unnamed number of multiple orgasms I had in a row. And I didn't mean to. But that's why the government should stop making tobacco. Like, we don't need it. I didn't tell you how many I had, did I? It's okay. Oh, well, because we need to stop. Because no matter what you do, when you smoke cigarettes or baby alligators, your brain is gonna automatically tell you have these rules because of that. I don't make the rules up, I just explain them. That's why a lot of people stop smoking lately. There's less people that smoke nowadays than there used to be in the 90s. Because people do drugs, and people need to learn to not do drugs, because we need to learn to take care of our families, and we need to learn to stay married and not have kids out of wedlock, and make sure our kids grow up happy, instead of like 2% of people on earth like their job. What does that tell you about how we're raising our children? We really need to learn to stop with the drug talk and just pay attention to life. Well, that's good, because we need to stop having kids. There's actually There's a name for people that don't believe we should have kids because they're not growing up happy. We need to stop having kids for like 20 years because the population of the planet's going to grow too much if we don't learn to get to outer space and live on other planets, which on my website, there's formula for traveling at light speed. However, I can't get a hold of the government because they keep hanging up on me and calling me a wolf and blah, 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 and treating me like I'm not a doctor. I'm an unlicensed neurologist, and I know about chemistry and quantum physics. I know about geography. Geography is the most important subject in school. However, I don't even think they teach it in high school or anything. And so what I need to do when I get a girlfriend is I need to write a book called Digital Environmental Communication for 9th graders so that they can grow up happy. Well, not in America. If I moved to Russia, like, they'd treat me better. Like, Russians do not speak angry. Like, American English is the most angry dialect of English and the most angry language on the planet. And it's the English people because they're afraid of the word never mind. And they end up mentally ill and all messed up because of it. And it's like, did you not see the name of my Dream Eyeball? Like, I just figured that out. I was told about it. It's actually a food in Hawaii, like I said. And I heard it from a lady that's half Asian. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to ever say the name of my Dream Eyeball, and I'm not going to eat that food either. I don't know what it is, but apparently it's a food that grows in Hawaii or something. It's quite alright. Like, if you want to, you can blow water out your nose after you drink. That's very similar to doing LSD, but it's normal because anybody can do that. And this is why we shouldn't be doing drugs, because we don't need the drugs to have the experience of the drugs, because I can tell you about it, so therefore you don't have to do it. And like when I told you that bugs could be mentally ill, that lowered your consciousness so you could actually be more humble. So you don't really need the heroin or the opium to understand that anymore. But however, because of how unhealthy everybody is, we have to take opium as a pain pill, and everybody's addicted to it and they're snorting it, and that's just wrong. And you might have missed it, but close your eyes and breathe in your mouth then out your nose, and I bet you don't do that again. And it's the deadliest drug on the planet is this opium. They call them opiates, and then they call it hydrocodone or whatever, or Tylenol 3 or Oxycontin, and it's just opium mixed in with a bunch of man-made chemicals because man thinks he can make drugs better than man. So I had to come around and fight Marshall Mathers to draw that picture and tell him that, like, never mind, dude, like, shut the hell up. I know a lot about a lot of things and a lot of drugs, and I don't talk about certain drugs because, well, I'm not going to in this video because it doesn't matter. I can't drive for a week. Next Monday I got to go back to him. And he's going to change the dressing. And the messed up part is my foot doesn't look straight. I don't know. It looks crooked. Yesterday, when I know a lot about language too, and I'm not gonna speak about other languages. Like, I know all about every foreign language and how to help their language out with psychology. And I don't even call it psychology. It's called carology now. Like, get in the car, we're trying to go to space. Yeah. Like, I know a lot of stuff. Like, I'm smarter than Einstein. Like, Einstein kind of had some cool ideas, but he didn't quite get it. So, like, I'm the Einstein of the planet right now, but everybody thinks I suck air in my mouth after I eat, or I suck air in my mouth or I suck air in my nose after I sneeze, or I suck air in my mouth after I drink, and I don't. I mean, well, if I chug a pop or a beer or something, I do suck air in a little bit, but I'm kind of sucking the liquid in as I'm kind of slurping it in my mouth. But when I'm done, I blow air, I exhale out my mouth. But there's people on planet Earth that actually suck air in their mouth after they eat or sneeze or drink. And we need to just pretty much tell our kids, don't do that. Like, why has nobody told our kids not to do that? That's disgusting. Like, I am not a purple people sex eater. Like, that's quite alright. Like, I don't mind the color purple if I'm trying to sleep. But that's where the strawberry tampon that I trademarked that's going to be being sold in stores soon comes into play, because it's the bare necessities of life. And that's why I got a bear tattoo on my face. But I got fired from my job the day before my birthday in January for talking about the strawberry tampon, which I don't feel responsible for inventing and trademarking to sell, because I honestly don't even know how to use a tampon. And next month I have to make a box of tampons with an advertisement to finish the trademark, and then I can try selling it to pharmaceutical companies. And this will probably be my last video of explanation, because I don't want too many people knowing about it, because we all know I'm not going to go viral, because people, and the word never mind, they think it's a knife or something, and it's like, no, it's just a word. No, go ahead. I got an answer. I probably have some questions too. No, I don't suck air in my nose after I eat. No. Homosexuality is a mental illness. It's because they can't, like, I have nothing against them. It's just they can't handle the way society works, so they suck air in their nose after they eat. Actually, yes, I have, and it didn't work. So, no. We should probably just call cigarettes fags. It'd be a lot more sane for us to understand, because a fag, the original definition of fag was a pile of sticks, which has to do with trees. I lived with a man last year that was bisexual. Well, he was gay originally, but I turned him bisexual. And I let him watch me masturbate. And he tried touching me, and I was like, yeah, no. And the only reason I even did that and let him do it is because he was harassing me, and I didn't want to get kicked out of his house, because I had just got kicked out of my last house because my roommate thought I was going to kill him, and I would have been homeless, and it was winter, and I couldn't sleep in any of the homeless shelters in the area because they all have bed bugs here in Nebraska, and I'm highly allergic to them. Okay, the opium has kicked in, and the way I feel is I feel like I have shit in my spine. And that's actually not shit that I feel. It's Thorazine from my thyroid gland that's being produced. And for anybody that has lost their thyroid gland, first of all, it doesn't look like a butterfly. It looks like a woman's bra. And some people lose it because they get cancer in there or something. And I feel really, really bad, because humans need Thorazine to function. Thorazine is actually a pain reliever that your body naturally produces, and it helps your body temperature regulate, as well as some other things. I know a lot about the human body and the glands in it. You actually do have a third eyeball in the back of your head. It's on top of your brainstem. They call it your pineal gland, and I renamed it because you heard the name of it. You're the only one watching, so yeah, that's the name of your dream eyeball, which is on top of your brainstem. It's about like in line with my ear on top. So it's just the eyeball you look through when you're asleep. I mean, it's a little weird to think you have 3 eyeballs because you were never trained and taught that as a kid. However, it's true, because I actually smoked one time out of a body, and well, that's where it came from. It came from a body, and I don't know why I smoked it, but I did, with my brother and my stepbrother's half brother, and our friend Disco. Disco's a funny guy. I kind of miss him. So I mean, it's just too bad that like Americans are afraid of me, because like I am the 2 million-year-old man that lives in your dreams. Like I am your dream eyeball, or I'm playing the part of it while I'm temporarily on this planet. And if you don't want to be reincarnated before you die, suck air in your nose after you eat, and your spiritual energy will go away forever. I should do that because all my stuff's online. I have 3 YouTube channels. One's called Crystal Bancroft, and one's called The Garden of Eden. But I got temporarily blocked on those 2 YouTube channels for saying the word sex and talking about Marilyn Manson, because Marilyn Manson is a hermaphrodite. He has a penis and a vagina, and you can actually hear him talking in reference to his penis or his vagina back and forth. And he's actually a very smart man, and he's really misunderstood by everybody. And he's pretty much the reason why there's been 288 school shootings in America, and the highest other country on the planet of school shootings has 8 school shootings. So that just proves there that America is the most mentally ill. The English language is the angriest speaking language, because people just won't talk about the stuff I talk about because they're afraid to, or they don't know, because of the word never mind getting in front of their consciousness and, you know, altering their ego. So, like, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of my kitchen, which means don't do drugs. Like, if you can't handle me talking, if you can't handle the Joker, you shouldn't be doing drugs. And somehow convincing yourself that, like, some people in English language grow up and they hear somebody say the word never mind, and they realize they shouldn't say that word, so they never do, and they're like the most functioning people that believe in some wolf with red roses. And then there's people that say the word and then they feel bad about it, and they may or may not, you know, get into problems depending on if they get into drugs or not or whatever. And then they might end up mentally ill, or they might end up drug addicts or criminals. And the purpose of my book, Digital Environmental Communication, that I will write if I get a wife, well, a spiritual wife, because if you have sex with somebody, you marry them spiritually. I've written 5 books already. And the first book I wrote, I had a girlfriend. I wrote some of it in jail, and then I wrote the rest of it living with her. But she ended up having bilateral electroshock therapy because she was depressed and had some supposedly mental illnesses, and I couldn't convince her to just be okay. And then after she got out of her bilateral electroshock therapy, which they pretty much electrocuted her temples to help her out, and she didn't remember who I was, and her mother lied to her and told her I broke her ribs, which never happened. Like, I got drunk once and I took one of her Visterols, which was anxiety medicine, and I was yelling at her about how many medications she took, because the psychiatric doctors had, like, or the carology, I'm gonna try to start calling it carology. The doctors in carology, like, she took like 9 different medications 3 different times a day, and she took like uppers and downers and like all sorts of medications to help her think, and it didn't help her, and she was just so messed up so messed up in the head from carology that I wasn't able to help her at that point in time, because I hadn't had eye surgery. I had eye surgery in November, and the things that were wrong with my eyes is my left eye thought I had glaucoma, which I had a blind spot in my left eye up here, and I didn't know it my whole life. And then the other thing is my eyes didn't move together in unison, so they didn't follow each other. My left eye kind of stuck there in the corner and didn't move, and it wouldn't follow objects. And then if I covered each one of my eyes, it would move up. And what they did is, it's called strabismus surgery, and it actually straightened my eyes out. And then my whole plate of vision, so to say, was visible, and I was able to see everything. that my eyes could see, which I can only see about, I don't know, about that much. Like, my peripheral vision gets narrower when I get angry. And I don't get angry or vivid or frustrated, mad, whatever, very often, because I've been through too much stuff because of the English speaking language. And after my trademark sold, I might have to leave the country if I can't find an English woman to be with, because American women are just mean. Like, literally, they're mean because they don't like me. I don't know. They don't like the way I communicate. I might sound a little funny to you because I had sleep apnea, and they cut out my uvula, that little dangly ball in the back of your throat. They cut it off because it was hanging on my tongue by like an inch or two, and it was causing me to suffocate while I was in sleep. And sleep apnea is not fun. So if you know anybody that has it, tell them that they can go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and they'll just numb their throat up. They won't even put them to sleep, and then they'll just cut the uvula off, and they won't have very many sleep apnea attacks. Like, I've had a few, but see, after I got my uvula cut out, my vocal cords lowered and my voice got deeper. And like, something else that's normal that we need to teach kids is women's vocal cords vibrate faster. That's why they have a higher pitched voice. We can teach kids that, like, women use, or girls, I like the word girl, girls use their vision to solve, or girls use their vision to remember past events, and boys use their vision to solve problems, which in layman's terms is girls are bathroom organizers, and like, I'm in my kitchen, like, trying to eat. Because if you've ever heard the song Gangster by, her name's Kat something, the album's called My Garden. It's a very great song. Yeah, I kind of listened to it too much recently. I kind of wore it out. She talks about her dad in the video, or in the, I don't know if there's a video for it, but she talks about her dad in the song. And see, something else about me that, like, Americans don't understand is I practiced like 19 years of closed-eyed meditation, because as I was being trained to be able to communicate this way as a teenager by my friends in the drug world, Marshall Mathers came out and started talking about blowjobs, and my friends just gave up and said, you better hope, or Ann did actually, she's like, you better hope you can meditate. So I had to start meditating and practice closed-eyed meditation. I'd sit in lotus position with my feet crossed on top of my lap and my right foot on top of my left foot, and I'd close my eyes and I'd breathe through my nose for about an hour without eating. And once you reach enlightenment, which isn't needed anymore, because like, I just woke up, and we'll talk about it so you don't have to understand it, because that picture right there brings you the enlightenment state of mind anyways. But what it does is it reboots your brain like a computer. Well, girls meditate still, but boys don't need to anymore. It reboots your brain like a computer, and actually the humans have a bioelectric magnetic field around them that's like energy, wavelengths and frequencies and vibrations. And it actually replenishes that when you do it. My nephew, he's like 10 years old, and we were talking about quantum physics. I don't remember what I was saying, but he was like, if humans could vibrate fast enough, we could travel through solid objects, because there's always space in between atoms. And I was talking about atoms are robotic. Like, the atom has an electric current in it that's positive, which means that there's electricity in an atom, which is the smallest particle on Earth. And funny enough, like, there could be a particle in my body, an atom in my body, that like in 2 days it's in the door. So like, I can't feel the particles moving from my body to the door, or from the door to the computer, but particles move around, and that's just the way it is. And like sound moves through the color spectrum and creates wavelengths and vibrations, and it causes the color spectrum to actually vibrate to where if you're on the proper drugs or have the proper knowledge of this stuff, then you can actually see the color spectrum vibrating with loud music. And if you need an example, you can go to a dance club and start dancing, and like you're going to feel the vibrations of the sound moving around, and that's when you'll be able to see the color spectrum vibrating around you. And with the color spectrum, it goes from red to purple, and every other color is in between. But gray, brown, black, and white are not colors, they're shades. And so you've got red on one end of the color spectrum that has the highest wavelength but the lowest frequency, which is why people get angry. But within the color red, like Malcolm X said, anger is a gift. And the color red is more of passion. Like, if you can understand that drawing right there, then you can understand, like, what am I good at doing? Like, everybody's good at doing something. And we need to be able to make sure that our kids have a test of some sort, like the Chinese do this, the Asians do this, where you do the job that you're good at. Instead of running around choosing a job to do for a living, they find out what you're good at so that your community and society can get the greatest benefit from who you are. But, you know, we got the freedom of choice here in America, and we all see where that's got us with the word never mind. And then on the other end of the color spectrum, you got purple, which has the lowest frequency and the highest wavelength, or no, the lowest wavelength and the highest frequency. Which, now I think about it, no, red has the lowest frequency and the highest wave. Shit, hold on. I couldn't find this on the internet because I found it years ago. Red has the lowest wavelength and the highest frequency, and then purple has the opposite. And we'll just say that for purposes of not repeating backwards stuff, because with the American English language, we don't always communicate backwards, so to say. We don't name our nouns and then describe them. When you name the noun first and then describe it, that gets your brain subconsciously being able to create a picture, an image of what they're describing. So if you already know what they're talking about because you're older, you don't have to worry about like trying to get the whole picture explained to you, because we already know what, you know, a car looks like. So but we say green car. So when we say, oh, look at that green car, subconsciously for that millisecond, our brain doesn't know what we're going to say is green. But other languages, every other language on earth except for Spanish language, speaks backwards. They say boy good, car green, girl stupid. They describe their noun first, or they state their noun first and then they describe it. And that's why all the people across seas are being misunderstood, because we are a forward-speaking community that has the Spanish language that, like, I don't mind Spanish people. Their language is kind of cool. But there's confusion with the English and Spanish languages on this earth because of forward communications. Because sometimes in the English language and Spanish language we do speak backwards, and sometimes we don't. But other languages speak backwards all the time. And the Germans are, if you would say, they're more, the German language is more of the clown language. Hitler was a very smart man. He tried to do what he was supposed to do, and he went around the wrong way of doing it. So I kind of picked up where Hitler, that's what I said. Where Hitler left off, and I was turning it into love instead of hate, so to say, because Hitler was trying to state that blue-eyed people and blonde-haired people, or blue-eyed, blonde-haired people were the dominant race on Earth, which are the smartest personality, which isn't true. The smartest people on Earth are green-eyed people. My eyes are the color of grass, and I've copyrighted a lot of stuff in carology, except for the word carology. And It's called disdained eye color personality. Like green-eyed people are Earth, and this is from smartest to dumbest eye color. And but if you get hair color in there too, it kind of messes it up a little bit. And then you got eye dominance, you've got glasses, you've got brain dominance, you've got blind people, deaf people, mute people, people that don't communicate because they're mute and they can't talk because their voice box don't work. They actually still talk, they just only talk to themselves. So they really don't count. And people that talk to themselves are more like the German language. The mute people are more like the German language for the people that really don't speak. So yeah, I'm not able to decide, what I want to do after I sell my tampon in stores, because there's a green-eyed girl in Russia that I met. Like, she has the girl version of tattoos on her body, and I see all my tattoos are like they're carology tattoos. They were supposed to be used to study the mentally ill, and what I ended up having to do was study on the general public, and that's how I ended up making a lot of people angry until I ended up moving here. Oh, and within the eye thing too, you've got like reading glasses. You can't see up close, but you can see far away. And then like with me, my left eyeball only needs bifocals. Like my left eye can't read up close and it can't see far away, but my right eye actually just can't see far away. And you can feel people's eyes when you're around them. Like they say the eyes are the window to the soul. They are. When you're around people, you can feel their character and their personality through their eyes. And if we don't teach people about, eye dominance, if to teach you eye dominance, I would tell you that my eye can see through my other eye if I look to the side towards my ear. And that teaches you whether you're on the left or the right. And then if you go to that picture and refer to that, you can notice that your heart is directly below your left eyeball. And all your spiritual energy goes to your left eye. And another difference between left eye people and right eye people are all the speech processing that you do to communicate is done on the left side of your brain. You actually hear about an inch above your ear in your audio cortex, is what I call it, and then it all travels over here and it goes up to your Wernicke's area, where you process how you understood the information, and then it goes to your Broca's area, where you process how you want to relay the information. And then it goes to your frontal cortex, where your emotion center is behind your forehead, where you pick the words you want to use and try to organize it, and then they come out your throat. And words come out my throat, they don't come out my mouth. But with the English and Spanish language, we speak more with our lips and tongue than everybody else does. And so if you've ever heard Russians or Orientals or anybody else speak, they speak more from their throat, and they don't use their tongue and lips as much. Which scares everybody, which scares the English and Spanish people, because I don't know why. The word never mind, maybe. I don't know. That and the fact that there are hermaphrodites out there. Like, I looked, I don't have a vagina. I can see that. Yeah. And like, I knew I wasn't a homosexual when I realized I couldn't sleep next to a grown man. Like, I'm not cuddling with you. You can go sleep on the couch. So my house is actually my doctor's office. And I prefer to go by Dr. Face. I heard that in a song, and it's a good description of what I'm doing. I'm the face doctor. We don't like see the word face? We don't like that sound. And I don't think other languages say the letter S very much. I don't know. I learned the Russian, or I didn't learn the Russian alphabet, but I looked it up and I printed it off. And like, the Russian language has these two symbols that don't have a sound, but they're like, I don't know. I don't know what they do. There's two letters in the Russian language that they don't pronounce sounds, but they're inside of the spellings of their words. and I have to find a Russian to. Well, I need to talk to that Russian girl I've been talking to online and find out what those are about. After I tell her about my dream eyeball name, because she actually blocked me because I said the word money, and we have this belief system that like when I eat, it sounds like the word money, and it doesn't. Like I've been over things before, blah blah blah, and it comes from the word onomatopoeia, which isn't how it's pronounced, but my daughter actually taught me that word because they teach kids about onomatopoeias now, and an onomatopoeia is like the sound something makes that's like, well, air. You got my dream eyeball. And that's that word, that three-letter word, is actually the sound of your breath. That's what it sounds like to breathe. And people get really messed up when they take ecstasy and MDMA. Well, ecstasy is MDMA, whatever, Molly, whatever you want to call it. Like, my name's not Molly. But when you breathe, that's the sound of your breath going in and out of your body. Is that, you spell it O-I, and then, but you put the P on the beginning of in front of the O. And that's what the onomatopoeia of your breath sounds like as you breathe. And it's an Oriental thing. Like, it's an Oriental word, and an Asian girl found it out because there's that food in Hawaii. And I'm assuming she told me it because she knew I needed to know, because left eye dominant people tend to meet their dream eyeball. Because, I mean, what is that a picture of? Like, I might have to show it a little closer. But, like, you can see what that is now. And the reason why that's drawn like that is because your heart is directly below your left eyeball. Which is why I changed my name to Lefty. My birth name's Chad, which happens to be a country in Africa. And I was in psychology class, and I was going to school in college, and it was a college experiment, or it was a carology experiment. I'm not used to saying that. And I'm not used to saying, like, renaming things because people haven't adapted my work. So it's a little embarrassing to talk the way I do because everybody's not, like, they don't understand what I'm talking about. And I don't know if humans will actually adapt what I'm trying to tell them, or if the planet will get destroyed before. I've made a threat that 30 years after I die, if they haven't adopted my carology, I'm going to kill the planet. And then you might ask, well, how do you kill the planet if you're dead? Well, I'll figure it out. To teach people about carology. Like I said, my website, I'll put it on the video after I'm done with the live video. I'll put my website link there, and I teach people about everything we need to know, because like Carl Jung was a German guy that invented analytical psychology. And an analogy is taking two things that are similar, or that are not similar, and making them similar. Which you hear that in rap music, and you hear that in music and poetry all the time. People speak in analogies, and a lot of people don't like poems because, they sound weird. And now that I learned my dream eyeball's name yesterday, I can focus more on the reality-based stuff and be like, hey man, like, I mean, you got your strawberry tampon that I'll be selling, and then you've got the name of your dream eyeball, and we need to start talking about carology. And there might be, like, I talked about opium in this video, but a lot of people take opium, like, and it's highly addictive and dangerous because people are dying from this, and it's an epidemic is what it is. It's almost like the Black Plague nowadays, but it's being purposefully given out by doctors, and people are snorting them. Like, I met a guy recently that he just had his prescription, and they were all crushed up in a bowl, and he had like a straw there, and he would just randomly run around and snort it. And like, he called me a dude, and I was like, and I wasn't yelling at him because he said the word dude. Like, he was on face cloth, is what I call it now. It's face cloth, not Facebook. It's face cloth. He was on there, and I could see that he was active, and I was saying something to him, and he's like, dude, I'm busy. And I was like, you're on face cloth. If you're so busy, why are you on it? And that pissed him off. He's like, stay away from me and my girlfriend. And like, I'm not mad at these people because of the tongue and lip communication that English and Spanish people do. We've gotten confused consciously, because this isn't about my subconscious mind. I'm not trying to talk about my dreams, because I told you my dreams eyeball's name. I'm trying to talk about my consciousness, like how I focus. And the definition of common sense in my words is how my, well, I've had lots of different definitions that all need to focus. Think about these people that are billionaires. Like, how much stuff do they have to attention to and try to organize? Like, I don't want to be rich. I don't want millions and millions of dollars. Like, I don't need that. That would just be that'd be harassment. I'd be being harassed by everything, and then people would get mad at me. And it's like, I'm trying to do the best I can. Like, I got like thousands of things to do every 2-3 months, and like I have to try to organize this and pay people to do things for me, so I don't have to do it and think about it and all that. So I only need about $2,000 a month is all I need. And that pays my bills. Like, if I do make millions, oh, you left. Oh, well, that's fine. You might have lost your connection or something, but I appreciate you watching as long as you did. I didn't realize I'd been on an hour. And that opium's actually making my foot not hurt. It's doing a good job. And I hope I don't go through, like, I made videos on my Crystal Bancroft channel, I believe, about my withdrawals last time I was on it, and it was not good. But I was stuck in my mind. I was stuck in my subconsciousness at that time. I've been stuck in my subconscious mind for decades. Well, just like most everybody else on the planet, they're stuck in their dreams because they don't know the name of their dream. And now that we have that out in the open, we can focus on like what I'm doing, what I want to do, what I did, how I learn from stuff I do that's wrong so I don't do it the same next time. Like, I dress myself and undress myself from left to right because I do. You may not, and that's perfectly okay. But I have rules on how I move my body, which is what we were trying to communicate in the 90s until Marshall Mathers came out talking about blowjobs in his Slim Shady LP, My Name Is song. Like, I don't know why he was talking about blowjobs and why he decided to try to be clever about it, but he didn't help anybody. He made some weird cult on the planet, and I'll probably listen to some of his music again, but I'm not listening to it. If he comes out with any more albums, I'm not listening to him. I don't care if he apologized with this song about don't disrespect the caterpillar. Like, that was a weak apology. And he's going to have to punish. He's going to get punished. He's going to get punched in the nose. Because I can't get Tech 9 to pay me a little bit of money. Marshall Mathers, actually, he did something with his phone line. I think he temporarily disconnected his phone line to Shady Records, because after I called and yelled at his secretary, he came out with that song Don't Disrespect the Caterpillar, and I tried calling back to yell at him some more. And the number said something about, it didn't say it was disconnected like a number usually would. It said something strange, and I'd have to call it to get what that said, and I really don't care. And then I've called Marilyn Manson and left a message for him, because, like, Marilyn Manson is Jesus. Like, he has a penis and a vagina. Like, understand the man and more the people that are like him, because there's not very many hermaphrodites on the planet. And I don't think I ever got taught about hermaphrodites. I don't remember hearing about that in school. And I took sex education in like ninth grade. And then I messaged my daughter on Instagram and I apologized to her because like they taught her about sex education in sixth grade, and that's not right. Unfortunately, when I write my book, Digital Environmental Communication, I'm gonna have to bring it down from ninth grade level to sixth grade level because we teach our kids about safe sex or whatever in sixth grade now. For whatever reason we do. And we don't want to teach our kids about sex. Like, you have a little bit of segment on, like, you know, you shouldn't get married unless, or there needs to be rules within marriage, conception, and divorce. And that's pretty much all we need to do to prevent people from having kids. And, like, the rules would be punishable by fines. Like, you don't get any tax money then if you're going to have kids or outside of wedlock, or if you're going to get divorced, like the boy child has to live with his dad, because like a mother cannot teach her boy child how to be a boy because she's not a boy, and vice versa with the daughter. It just doesn't work. But there's no rules on that. Like, I'm sorry, that's a rule. Unless the dad can be shown not functionable, or the dad doesn't want him, well, that's fine. But if we go back and teach our kids, instead of teaching them about sex and all the negative stuff it can do, we teach our kids how to choose a wife or a husband. Like, what eye color do you want them to be? What you want them to wear? Glasses, no glasses? You want them to maybe wear contacts sometimes? Do you want them to be left brain or right brain dominant, or left eye dominant, right brain dominant? Or do you want to date a blind person? Do you want to date a deaf person? Do you want to date somebody that's mute? We need to teach people about that, and it's called, and I haven't copyrighted it, and that's one of the copyrights that I don't have done, but it's called perspectional dominance. And there's not I don't know how many perspectional dominances there are, and that's why it wasn't got copyrighted, because I tried doing the perspectional dominance list, and I tried naming every single individual type of I'm left-brained, I'm right-eyed, I wear glasses, I have the same color of eyes as grass, and my left eyeball only needs bifocals, and that's my perspectional dominance. We don't teach anybody about those things, and we need to. So hopefully, I'm able to make enough money off of my tampon so that I can do further research to help grade school people learn about carology and digital environmental communication, and whatever you want to call it. Because what we're teaching our kids in high school now, pretty much probably around the whole globe, maybe more in America, we're teaching our kids how to be popular. And that has problems within problems of itself. The number 7 goes deeper than everybody realizes, and I have all my notes. I can't organize it and write my book until I have a girl living with me. And unfortunately, it might not happen in America. And I found a website from Russia called Digital Environmental Communication as well. And it was some Dr. Ursula lady. And I tried calling her. The number was disconnected. But her website is like not weird like mine. And it interested me, and that's why I might have to move to Russia to finish my studies, because when I'm around the Russian people and I learn how to speak Russian a little bit,